Why am I here? I served my penance. I sat by the ship as ordered, and when they went dark, I didn't ask questions. I laid to waste all the hellspawn before me. In the end, I disintegrated the barons of hell. I blasted the cyber demon into pieces. Then why the hell? Why the hell am I in hell?
I just asked you to take out the trash.
He said in hell.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of That Cyber Channel. My name's Dan Cybert.
And I'm Evan from Nerd Venom.
Welcome to the month of Doom, where I'm going to be covering all three of the previous Dooms, as well as the new Doom at the end of the month. Evan is going to be helping me edit these bad boys, so I thought I'd bring him on for the first episode.
Yep, that's my payment. More work.
It's exposure, it's good, that's a good payment.
For a ProGas client?
Can we talk about this later?
No.
Okay, we good? Okay. Doom. Just the title alone brings up so many thoughts.
Guns.
Demons.
Heavy metal.
Explosions.
Kicking ass.
And most importantly of all, revolutionary.
That's right. This bloodbath not only stirred up controversy with its violence, but also helped shape the FPS genre as we know it today.
Doom was developed by id Software and released back in 1993. id Software was fresh off their success with Wolfenstein 3D, and they were looking for a way to build off their previous creation.
Doom is built on the self-titled Doom engine. This engine was revolutionary for its time. It allowed for multiple heights and stages, full surface texturing, and was easily modded.
Modding was a huge part of the Doom community. By creating WODs, modders could create their own maps, textures, sprites, and sounds. Some that are really awesome, and others, well, yeah. This is a video all by itself.
Not only that, it helped kickstart multiplayer FPS with deathmatch over local networks. It was so popular that large companies like Intel had to ban Doom from the workplace because of how much bandwidth it took up. Sounds like the most epic LAN party of all time.
At your job?
Yeah. Get paid and get frags. That's the only way to live.
Fair enough. Of course, as you can imagine from a game called Doom, it came with its fair share of controversy. Due to its violent nature and satanic imagery, the Genesis port of Doom was among the first games to receive a mature rating.
Still, all the controversy could not stop Doom from becoming one of the most influential games of all time. Doom is consistently on top 10 lists of most influential games and is credited for launching the FPS genre into popularity.
As you can see, Doom isn't just a retro game us old guys like to talk about.
You're 28.
Don't remind me.
Okay, well, we've taken a look at its history, so let's boot up the game and take a look under the hood to see how it handles. You really shouldn't be drinking all that whiskey.
It's just apple juice. It's good for my liver.
You just went from really sad to really lame.
Yeah! There is nothing more metal and badass as this first opening screen.
Just the title screen sets the mood for the entire game. The music is dark and looming,
And the image shows the complete badassery of our one-man army. Those abs just can't be contained!
but who is this mysterious hero and why is he fighting off the legions of hell?
Glad you asked perfectly written question to set up the story. You play as a nameless space marine
AKA Doom Guy.
who has been stationed on Mars, considered by the Marines as one of the worst assignments, after you punched out your commanding officer.
Wait, why would he do that?
Because the officer told you to open fire on innocent civilians.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a dick.
I know, right? I'd totally punch him too. Yeah.
It's on Mars, where scientists have been working on teleportation between Mars's moons Phobos and Deimos.
Of course, the experiment goes haywire and Deimos completely disappears. That's when evil begins to tear its way into the facility of Phobos.
With all of his fellow Marines killed by demons, Doom Guy must find his way back home by fighting his way through the facilities.
And you're probably wondering where we found all the story in a game that generally consists of shooting and some text. Game manual. It was 1993, people. That's just how some games were.
But that doesn't mean there wasn't storytelling in-game. Doom is made of 3 total episodes in the original and an extra episode added in the release of the Ultimate Doom.
At the end of each episode, you'll be treated to an epilogue setting up the next episode.
Episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead, starts you off where the manual left off, as Doom Guy fights his way through Phobos.
Episode 2, Shores of Hell, continues the story as Doom Guy finds himself on Deimos after teleporting off Phobos.
Episode 3, Inferno, finds Doom Guy rappelling down from Deimos and into Hell itself.
Episode 4, Thy Flesh Consume, acts as a prologue to Doom 2, as Doom Guy finds himself back on a demon-infested Earth.
Beyond that, everything else is told by context as you explore the facility.
This leads into the beautifully gory demonic presentation of Doom. Just one look at the game and you're instantly brought into the world.
As we mentioned before, the Doom engine allows for full textures on surfaces which allow designers to fully flesh out stages. Sometimes literally.
Doom took heavy inspiration from the science fiction and horror genres. John Carmack, a programmer on the game, said thematically, Doom was viewed as Aliens meets Evil Dead 2.
And that's the exact feel you get. The major facilities feel high-tech and at the same time gritty and dark. As you dive deeper into Hell, the landscape quickly becomes twisted and satanic.
The Doom engine also allowed for dynamic lighting. Parts of the facility would have broken or flickering lights to help create a sense of fear and unknown with monsters grunting in the darkness.
With that, let's talk sound.
Don't we always talk with sound?
Not literally, Evan.
I know, I just like pissing you off.
Damn it.
Don't you mean damn it?
Anyway, Doom has some of the best sound design of its time. Unlike its Nazi-killing counterpart, Doom came in full stereo.
This helped with two things, allowing the player to accurately judge how far enemies are, and identifying where new paths open up when flipping switches.
It was a huge upgrade from Wolfenstein, and helped create a more engaging world. And don't get me started on the soundtrack.
I mean, you have to, it's a
It's fucking badass!
Okay.
The first song, At Doom's Gate, is probably one of the most iconic songs from the soundtrack. Booting up this first level and hearing this? Just gets my blood pumping! Doom! Every song is not as head-bangingly epic, though. Some levels feature a more minimalistic, foreboding sound that creates more tension in the darker levels.
With all these elements in play, Doom doesn't feel like it's lost anything to time. It still feels epic, heavy metal, and twisted.
Finally, let's jump into the actual play itself. Not that kind of play, but could you imagine a Doom heavy metal musical?
You know, I'd probably hate it, but I'd still watch it.
I'd be pleasantly surprised. Let's get the obvious part out of the way. Doom is a first-person shooter. I hope you figured that out by now.
Doom is known for its fast-paced action and there is virtually no cover in the maps. It's all about you, your gun, and the demon at the end of your barrel.
If you're worried about dodging, don't be. Just as action is fast, so are the controls, and man, they feel fluid.
Almost too fluid at times. Making minor steps to get a secret can be a little floaty. However, when it comes to combat, you'll want it no other way.
The game can be played entirely with the keyboard. Or at least with the Steam version, you can rock that WSAD mouse combo.
There are two quirks with the controls though. Given the limitations of the engine, you could not aim up or down. On top of that, moving your mouse forward or back would move your character forward or backward, which... why?
It's really kind of odd, but there are fixes. Since you couldn't aim up, the game compensated by auto-aiming vertically.
The mouse movement though requires a little bit of work, but there are tons of tutorials online to help you turn off the vertical mouse movement.
Gameplay comes down to two parts: exploration and firefights.
Exploration is a major component of the level design of Doom. The maps of Doom start off a bit linear, but as you progress through the game, you'll be given options on how you want to progress through each stage.
Some levels will require backtracking as you find switches and keys that help unlock the path towards the exit. Even some keys are required to find certain secrets.
Just like the skeletons in my closet. Except mine don't jump out and try and kill me.
I got one that does.
Along with one secret stage per episode, each level is filled with multiple secrets. Hell, there are even secrets within secrets sometimes.
And in those secrets is where you'll find everything you need to fight the armies of hell. So how about we move on to combat?
Doom is not a game about holding still. As we mentioned, cover is scarce, but with your agility, it's all about charging forward.
But that's how Doom is meant to be. It's not about hiding behind broken buildings.
Chest-high walls!
It's about opening the door and kicking hellspawn ass.
That works too.
Because of that, combat is well balanced between the player and enemies.
Most enemy attacks can be dodged effectively, and the player's guns do enough damage to make quick work of the dozens of enemies you'll be fighting.
As for your survival, Doomguy has 2 health factors, your general health percentage and your armor percentage. Remember, at this time regenerative health wasn't really used, unless you were casting regen in Final Fantasy.
To stay alive, you'll be grabbing health and armor pickups. The caps for each one is 100%, but if you can find special power-ups, you can raise it all the way up to 200%.
This is Doomguy.
Doomguy goes 200% all the time.
Doomguy is a badass.
Be like Doomguy.
But health and armor aren't the only things you'll be picking up. You have a variety of weapons that'll need gathering. You'll start the game with a pistol,
And your bare fists like a goddamn badass.
you'll then find the shotgun, which is my go-to weapon, able to deal major close-up damage and is a good all-around weapon.
Or use your bare fists, which deal major close-up damage. Dan.
The chain gun, which is great for tearing through groups of enemies, and then the chainsaw for when you need to conserve ammo and tear through enemies.
You know what else conserves ammo and tears through enemies, Dan? Your bare fists.
The rocket launcher is for landing high damage hits, and the plasma rifle for a stronger crowd control weapon.
Control the crowds with my fists.
And finally, the biggest and baddest weapon in all of gaming, the big fucking gun 9000. What, nothing about fists for this one?
No, man. The BFG 9000 is fucking awesome.
Concur?
Yep,
Concur?
yep, yep,
Concur?
yep.
This beast of a weapon deals tons of damage at the center of impact and splash damage to other enemies in a large radius. There are several tactics that can be used with these weapons, so make sure you pick wisely when taking on the armies of hell.
Speaking of, let's talk about Doom's many enemies. Really, it's one of the highlights of the game since each enemy adds a new dynamic to combat.
You have enemies that are highly accurate, launch slow-moving but highly damaging balls of death, and straight-on melee demons that keep you on your toes.
You then have 3 boss-type monsters, Baron of Hell, Cyber Demon, and the Spider Mastermind. Each of these tanks require a ton of hits and can deal out literal fuck tons of damage.
Figurative.
Whatever!
Each of these enemies have a specific purpose, and when combined right, can create deadly ambushes.
Assuming they don't kill each other.
Right, the enemies can aggro each other.
Demons. Just no loyalty anymore.
Where's the teamwork, guys?
Enemies are brilliantly placed in Doom. You'll run across rooms stacked with demons and zombie men, forcing you to quickly dispatch the demons before taking out the zombie men sniping you.
Or you can find the Kako demon just around the corner of a tight maze. You'll then have to make the quick choice of attacking or leading it to a larger area to fight.
It can create some really challenging scenarios. Boss fights, however, can be done a little easier.
The first 2 bosses, the 2 Barons of Hell and the Cyber Demon, aren't too challenging if you have full rockets and are nimble enough. Their attacks are slow but powerful, so a small mistake could cost you half your life. Just like my ex.
However, the final Guardian of Hell, the Spider Mastermind, can be tougher. Episodes 3 and 4 have this boss, and both rooms have demons that really present a problem.
Episode 4 is easily the hardest of all the episodes. You'll be dying a lot as you fight to conserve ammo and kill hordes of enemies. And the Spider Mastermind arena has every demon in the game, minus the Cyber Demon.
He wasn't invited.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
If you're not fast dispatching all the enemies, you will die. But if you've been getting those secrets and have a fully loaded BFG, you'll clear out the room quickly as you charge out to save Earth. In the sequel.
Just like the sequel to this video.
Just like the sequel to this video. Yeah, you see what I did there? I think it's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it.
Doom was absolutely revolutionary for its time. The presentation and gameplay helped forge the path for many FPSs to come.
The game was absolutely magnificent in blending the elements together to create a truly harrowing, badass adventure.
So, what are our final thoughts on the game? Well, if you have Steam, go pick up the damn game right now.
If you're a fan of first-person shooters or just games in general, then you have to understand just how influential the game has been on the industry. Hey Dan,
Yeah, what's up?
you know that skeleton you said is trying to kill you?
Oh, yeah, what about it?
What closet is it in again?
Oh, it's in that closet right there.
Prepare yourself.
For what?
Hell on Earth.
Did you just make a Doom 2 reference to tease the next video?
Damn right.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. The month of Doom is just getting started, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerted when the next episode goes up. Also, share the love for Evan and Alyssa by subscribing to their channel Nerd Venom and Alyssa Be Crazy. And in the comments down below, what's your favorite thing about Doom? And until next time, Cybert out.